Call of Duty just dropped their Season 4.5 update, and as we know how bad Season 3.5 and how Season 4's update were, I'm praying and I'm hoping that today's update will not have broken anything and we get a really good game, right? But without further ado, let's get into it, man. So first and foremost, they added Beavis and Butthead. They said the two biggest idiots in animation are getting off the couch and joining the fight. Earn XP in multiplayer zombies or Call of Duty Warzone, while the event is live to earn free rewards like the new Olympia Special and Pickaxe melee weapon. So from what we can tell, they are not going to shy away from these crazy skins and these collaborations that is probably making them a lot of money. I know a lot of y'all are probably pissed off about this, and I know some of y'all probably don't care. But yeah, Call of Duty definitely is not what it used to be. All right, now let's go down to maps. For Verdansk, for the actual train, not train station, the train is rolling into the half season with a few familiar upgrades, all aboard. Added a buy station to the train, added a UAV tower to the train, and the UAV tower is disabled in Battle Royale ranked, which I do think is a good move. Now for the new modes that are coming with Season 4.5, this one I think is actually be pretty cool. This is called Havoc Royale. They gave us a little tease about this during Season 4's launch, but here it is. Havoc Royale brings chaos to Verdansk as operators drop into specific zones, downtown, airport, or train station, with their loadout already equipped. Inspired by the Havoc mode from Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, this Call of Duty Warzone exclusive variant mixes unpredictable modifiers with high-stakes survival. Adapt fast, outlast the competition, and be the last squad standing. This is technically going to be Resurgence, but in downtown, airport, or train station. So it'll be 44 players, and it's going to be a 15-minute game. The buy stations offer unique sets of items tailored for this specific game mode. There's squad buyback, armor plates, gas mask, door barricade, munitions box, redeploy drones, hand cannons, and UAVs. The only one that really sticks out to me there is the hand cannon, and that's the one that you can two-shot players with. It's a really strong, pretty much Desert Eagle. Now for modifiers, this is where things actually get fun. Well, if you like crazy shit. Throughout the 6 gas collapses, a single modifier will be active at a time. These modifiers randomly rotate, dramatically changing the rules of engagement. 2 special finale modifiers can occur toward the end of a match. The modifiers are as follows. Charge jump. Perform superhuman leaps. Holding the jump button increases height and your movement velocity affects horizontal distance. We saw this back in Vandal. When there was superpowers, you could pretty much hold one of your buttons to jump. It's probably going to be the same thing. And there's Crank, which is what's kind of insane. Outlines of enemies flash red periodically, operators gain a proximity HUD, track your footsteps, faster reloads, and plating, and a visible countdown timer. When the timer hits 0, you explode. Open catches to extend the time, eliminations fully reset it. Next we have Crouch Potato. Crouching transforms operators into a sack of potatoes. That is insane. Movement and jumping remain possible, while crouch operators regenerate health and armor and less damaged. The next one is ICU. Everyone has an always-on advanced UAV and googly eyes. Again, they're leaning into the wackiness of this game mode. Melon heads. Operators sport oversized watermelon heads. Headshots cause explosive damage. Body damage is reduced. Head damage is multiplied. Make it rain. Ammo and cash are abundant. Bullets are moved from your reserves, not your magazine. Essentially infinite fire. Fire cell is also active. And then unregulated airspace. Airspace restrictions are lifted. More kill streaks can be used simultaneously and are more frequently found as grounded. So those are the default modifiers. Now these are the end game modifiers that are supposed to be pretty insane. First we have Showdown. All players receive identical loadouts. All nearby weapons are removed from the environment. So remember, this is going to be at the very end of the game, which will make for some pretty interesting end games. Then the next is Rising Gas. This one's insane. Gas begins to rise vertically, forcing players to climb to safety. Gas masks and personal redeploy drones appear more frequently during this phase. So you better hope you get top prison whenever this thing gets activated. After reading into this further, this is not Resurgence. It's actually just Battle Royale, but with all these crazy modifiers. I personally don't mind this, especially if it is its own separate game mode. And I think it's pretty cool to Call of Duty to finally start adding some type of content. Call of Duty normally hasn't done any type of LTMs in the last like 2 to 3 years, which kind of sucks because I personally really like buyback quads and all the fun, wacky game modes that they used to introduce. But they haven't done that in a while because they were probably focusing on fixing the game. This one on paper does seem pretty cool. Let's see how it actually plays out. Now, next is Resurgence Casual Mode. This one is probably going to be the most popular game mode ever. Call of Duty gave us an update that Casual Mode was incredibly popular when it first came out. Casual Mode is there's pretty much a little bit of bots with a bunch of other regular players, which in turn makes your game a lot easier because, well, there's bots that don't really shoot back. So this is really good for players that just want to get on, shoot their gun, and probably feel like they're getting real kills. Or if they don't really care whether they're fighting real people or not, they just want to get in and shoot their gun and play the game casually. Now for Resurgence, everybody's already known that Resurgence was always considered the casual mode as far as BR versus Resurgence. Resurgence mode has always been the place where people go to when they want to just relax and hang out and they don't want to really think. Now Call of Duty has even further developed this mode to add Resurgence Casual. This will have only 12 real players and 32 bots. So they say this: the casual experience comes with Resurgence in the mid-season, mixing humans and bots in a fight to the finish. The main Resurgence rule set applies, so do what it takes to stay alive and keep your squad redeploying. Drop in to warm up, teach a new player about the game, or just for a more relaxed Resurgence experience. As with Battle Royale Casual or Call of Duty Warzone Boot Camp, game progression is limited to this mode and results will not count towards or against your stats. This mode also doesn't count towards your eligibility for Resurgence rank play. I think this is pretty cool. I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. If players want to go and have a casual experience, this is the perfect opportunity for them, especially with a lot of the casual audience being on Resurgence already. So I can see this probably being Call of Duty's most popular mode probably ever from here on out. But too much of one thing can be a bad thing. Call of Duty just needs to make sure that they don't add this to the actual normal game. That people who want to play against real people play in regular BRs and regular Resurgence modes, and let people who want to have a more chilled out experience go to casual mode. Giving players the opportunity to have the best of both worlds, I think, is the play here. But if they go down the Fortnite route, I do think that would be a really bad idea. For those of you that don't know, Fortnite pretty much has it to where no matter what game mode you play, there's always going to be bots in the game. Depending on how good you are, determines how many bots or real players are in pubs. I hope Call of Duty never gets to that point, but I probably see it happening with how popular this mode is going to be. Then lastly, returning is Rank Play Resurgence, which we will get into in a bit. And by a bit, I mean right now. So Rank Play is coming back and it's going to be Rank Play Resurgence. But remember, there will be two Rank Play modes. There will be Rank Play BR and Rank Play Resurgence. So if you want to scratch your competitive itch, which if you do, I'm very proud of you, you can choose to play either Resurgence or BR. They did make a couple really big changes to this, so let's go over it. Ranked Resurgence is back in Warzone, bringing the intensity of Resurgence with the structure and integrity of competitive play. In addition to an overhaul of Kill SR, Placement SR, and bonuses for Division Deltas, this iteration introduces a major update to the skill rating system in Resurgence Ranked, shifting progression from individual performance to team-based SR. Our hope with this change is that players can focus more on making sure that their squad is successful and to promote direct teamwork in successful combat encounters. Eliminating the worries over last hits or securing kills for SR should focus on gameplay in the same direction that our changes to SR rewards and placement SR are trending. Winning a match and defeating your opponent is paramount in rank. So to make a long story short of all that, they're trying to make it to where players aren't playing selfish. Because for those of you that didn't know, over the last couple seasons of Ranked, they've made it to where your individual performance matters more for your individual SR, thus leading to more selfish play. So Call of Duty is trying to fix this by bringing back the Team SR, which we'll go over right now. This will be trios. It'll be 45 players on Rebirth Island. So how is SR earned? Team-based SR. Players now earn SR collectively for all team kills and assists, rather than individually. We have a Kill SR and a Placement SR and Division Delta bonuses, which is just at the beginning. And yes, sadly, they did add a Kill SR cap again, adjusted per round to align with the new team focus system. What that means is, per game, if you get a certain amount of kills, you stop getting SR, which sucks because if you get, let's say, 10 kills as opposed to 25, you'll get the same amount of SR. So this is the awarded SR by placement. For top 15, you get 0. For top 13, you get 10. For top 10, you get 20 SR. For top 8, you get 30. For top 6, you get 50. For top 4, you get 75. And for winning the game, you get 150 SR. So winning actually matters. And then you get bonus SR per kill. For top 15, it's still 1. For top 13, it's 1 point per kill. For top 10, that's where things change a little bit. You get 2 SR per kill. Top 8, 2 SR. Top 6, top 4, you get 3 SR. And then for first place, you get 4 SR. For elimination rank delta pretty much means the difference between your rank and the player's rank that you kill. That will determine how much SR you get. If there are 3 divisions under you, you get 1 SR per kill. If there are 2 divisions under you, you get 1 SR per kill. If there are 1 division under you, you get 2 SR per kill. If you are the same division, you get 2 SR as well. If there are 1 division higher than you, you get 3 SR. If there are 2 divisions higher than you, you get 3 SR. And lastly, if there are 3 divisions above you, you get 4 SR per kill. And yes, deployment fee is back. The deployment fee starts at 0 and can go all the way up to 110 SR. But that's only just for Crim 3. So from the looks of it, if you read it to the bottom, it's looking like Iridescent will be 120 SR per deployment. Once you hit 10,000 SR, that is Iridescent. From there, every 500 SR above 10,000, so let's say 10.5K, you add an extra 20 SR to your deployment fee. And this is not per death, this is per game. So not too bad, with a maximum deployment fee of 220 if you do get to the top rankings. So speaking of death penalties, this is one of the big changes that they did address. death penalties have been removed. This was their reasoning for it. While these penalties were originally intended to increase the value of each life, they often shifted the player's mindset from playing to win to playing not to die. Though encouraging survival is valuable, we found this approach ultimately reduced the fun and competitiveness of matches. We're choosing to forego death penalties this season and will closely monitor how this change affects both gameplay dynamics and SR progression moving forward. I'm kind of in the middle about this. I kind of did like losing SR whenever you die, because that means the less you die, the better player you probably are. Unless you're camping, which, well, you're not going to get any SR anyways. So now I think players can play a lot more reckless with a lot less penalties. If that's their goal, I get it, I guess. But me personally, I like death penalties a little bit better. But let me play this again and let me remember how this used to feel, because remember, this wasn't a thing back in the day, or at least back in No One BR. So let's see how it plays out. For rewards and progression, it says rank rewards are unified across BR and Resurgence modes. And for those of you that haven't seen them, they're absolutely horrible, so don't even care about those. There's seasonal elimination challenges and division rank progresses. There's elimination milestones as well, 25 kills, 250 kills, and 1,000 kills. For restrictions, there's search and destroy contract, experimental gas grenade, neuro gas, shock charges, and impact grenades. Now moving on to the loot and economy of the entire game. For all modes, new weapons added to ground loot, and this includes Season 4 weapons. For Battle Royale, they added a care package kill streak. The care package contents have been updated to include a chance at the following rare items: Specialist, hand cannon, bunker buster, armor satchel, self-revive, door barricades, ammunitions box, or armor box. You could get something good or you could get something bad. That is the whole point of the care package. For Resurgence and Plunder, they did update the lootable perks. This is Shrouded, Irradiated, Lootmaster, Cold-Blooded, Reactive Armor, and Bird's Eye. They did make some pretty big changes to contracts. In my opinion, this will change the way the game is played at the beginning game. For Battle Royale, they took off Most Wanted spawns. They said Most Wanted contracts will now only begin appearing after the first circle has ended. We'll get back to that Most Wanted contract, but here it says contract reveal timings. Right here in this chart, you can see at what point do these contracts stop being available. So Bomb Plat stops being available at Circle 3, Supply Run Circle 3, Most Wanted Circle 4, Bounty Circle 4, and Big Game Bounties Circle 4. And right here it says no more contracts will spawn at all once the fourth circle ends. Now going back to the Most Wanted contracts, they said Most Wanted contracts will now only begin appearing after the first circle has ended. They doubled the monetary payout for killing a Most Wanted target. So they made killing Most Wanteds more valuable. The reason why they did this is they say this: we have seen some minor problems with the Most Wanted contract being primarily completed right on drop and being completed with little to no conflict more often than desired, along with a lack of contracts later in the game in BR matches. We'll be doing some readjustments to the contract spawns in BR and the rewards for killing a Most Wanted target to address this. So the strategy was originally is people land on Most Wanteds initially off drop, and all they do is loot up around themselves, and nobody's really going to chase them because they're all landing in their separate POIs, which defeated the whole purpose of a Most Wanted. Players who did this got money really quickly, finished their Most Wanted, and got their loadout, which I assume is what Call of Duty doesn't want. Now moving on to perks. For Resurgence and Plunder, they added Loot Master. This spawns additional items for supply caches and gives a higher chance to find tacticals and lethals, cache field upgrades, kill streaks, and other high tier gear. Available in Resurgence, Plunder, or via ground loot. They made some changes to reactive armor. It now regenerates up to full armor over 35 seconds, but Tracker got a really big nerf. Reduced the total marked targets from 5 to 1. Close range duration decreased from 3.75 seconds to 1 second. The mid-range duration decreased from 5 seconds to 1 second. And the long-range duration decreased from 7.5 seconds to 3 seconds. So Tracker got a hefty nerf. It says here the Combat Scout style effect of Tracker was originally intended to support long-range play. Over time, it became more dominant at short to mid-ranges. With wall penetration visibility removed, the perk was rebalanced to mark multiple enemies. But 5 proved excessive. We're returning to a focus on your current target to better align with its intended role. Radiator got changed as well. Equipment is now deployed faster with it. Health regeneration delay from explosive reduced from 5 seconds to 3 seconds. Bomb Squad. Damage reduction now applies to self-inflicted explosive damage. Explosive damage reduction increased from 30 to 45. Restock. Equipment regeneration time increased from 50 to 60 seconds. So it got a little bit of a nerf. Scavenger. The amount of cash drop decreased from 1,500 to 1,000. So that is a huge nerf. And then reflexes. The explosive delay time increased from 1.5 seconds to 1.6. Now let's move on to weapons. For what you guys are actually here for. We have the Olympia coming back, which is a 2-pump chump shotgun. It is going to be a Beavis and Butthead reward. Next, we got a pickaxe, which is a melee weapon, which is also a Beavis and Butthead reward. And then they added a couple new attachments. They added an SVD fully auto mod. This pretty much converts the SVD into a full auto weapon. It does have a downside. This will block the stock, the underbarrel, the barrel, and magazine attachments. So this SVD full auto mod better be good. Then they added the TR2 CQB auto conversion kit. This converts the TR2 into a fully automatic weapon with a fast fire rate that gradually slows down with sustained fire. This improves the handling, but at the cost of damage range. It equips a new default barrel, a magazine, and unlocks an exclusive extended magazine. It blocks all barrel attachments. For Gulag loadouts, there is a couple changes. The Gulag pistol rounds. Pistols using the Gulag will now come equipped with the following attachments. Kepler Microflex, so you get a little optic, compensator, a muzzle for decreased recoil, and extended magazines. They did make some changes to the default loadout as well. For the preset loadout adjustments, you have the Enforcer. FFAR replaces the Krig C, so keep in mind that might be the new meta. Remember that default loadouts are meant to be somewhat of a meta contenders, so try and use these guns today in Warzone and see if they're any good. The PU-21 will replace the XMG, and the LC-10 will replace the KSV. So maybe we might have the FFAR being meta or the PU-21. We already know the LC-10 is meta unless they made some pretty big changes, which let's go over. Holy shit. Let's start with assault rifles first. And as you can tell, they made some pretty big changes, but I'll summarize it and make it pretty easy for you guys to understand. For the AK specifically, they didn't do any changes to the actual gun, but more so changed the attachments and what they do. For the rapid fire attachment, they pretty much made the recoil better. For recoil springs, they also made the recoil better. For the gain twist barrel, they increased the bullet velocity. For the short barrel, they made your movement faster. If you had the compensator, they made your recoil better. If you got the ported compensator, they made your recoil better as well. For the muzzle brake, they made your recoil better as well. Lightweight foregrip made your movement better. For the ergonomic grip, they made your movement better. For the CQB grip, they made your slide and your dive to fire faster. For the fast motion laser sight, they gave you jumping, sliding, and diving a lot faster. For the target laser, they made your aim walking a lot more steady. And for the combat stock, they made your aim down sight movement speed quicker, and you have less flinch. So for the AK-47, pretty much they just buffed every single attachment. Now for the AMEs, it's pretty much the exact same thing. Rapid fire now has less recoil. Recoil springs now give you better recoil control. Gain twist barrel now gives you more bullet velocity. The short barrel gives you better movement. The ported compensator gives you better recoil. The lightweight foregrip gives you less idle sway. Precision foregrip gives you less idle sway. The ergonomic grip gives you better slide to fire and dive to fire speeds. The CQB grip does the exact same thing. The fast motion laser gives you better jump, slide, and dive hip fire spread. The target laser gives you better aim walking steadiness and better idle sway. And then lastly, the combat stock gives you more aim down sight movement speed, so strafing side to side. For the ASVAL, it's quite literally the exact same thing. For the AMAX, it's the exact same thing as well. They're pretty much just buffing every single attachment, but no actual changes to the actual gun. So if it wasn't meta before, it probably won't be meta. For the Cypher 091, they did the exact same thing as well. They improved every single attachment to this gun, making attachments give you less recoil, better bullet velocity, better movement speed, better slide to fire speeds. All across the board, from what it seems like, Call of Duty is trying to make ARs better. Now, the FFAR didn't have as many changes. The gain twist barrel gives you better bullet velocity. The short barrel gives you better movement. The lightweight foregrip gives you better idle sway. Precision foregrip gives you better idle sway as well. CQB grip gives you better slide to fire and dive to fire speeds. And the fast motion laser gives you better hip fire spread whenever you're jumping, sliding, or diving. Goblin NK2 got the same treatment as all the other guns. The Gripper, as I call it, got the same exact thing. The famous Kilo got the exact same thing. All attachments have been buffed. But now we're going to get into the changes that actually matter. These are actual gun changes, and we're starting with the Krig C. And we know the Krig is meta right now. The Krig did get a nerf. They decreased its damage range overall, as you can see right here on the right side. They decreased the arm multiplier from 1.05 to 1, which makes the gun a lot weaker. The aim down sight movement speed got decreased from 3.3 to 3. Sprint to fire got increased from 200 to 215, so they made it slower. Bullet velocity got worse from 870 to 850, and they made you have more flinch. And on top of that, all the other attachments that did give you a buff got added here as well. The biggest thing here is they probably saw that the Krig has been meta for what, a season and a half now. So they made the range worse. They made it have less damage. They made it slower, and they gave it less bullet velocity. So Krig will probably not be meta. Hope this is enough to actually change the gun and move the needle forward, but we'll see. For the Model L, this got the attachment treatment as everything else. For the XM4, the same exact thing. Pretty much made every single attachment better. Now, for the MCW, this is the Modern Warfare 3 gun. They did buff this one. They gave this increased range across the board, and from medium range, they gave it better damage. The headshot multiplier did get decreased, though, and the upper torso and lower torso multipliers did get decreased as well. Not too sure why this was done. This gun already isn't the greatest. Now, for the STG, this is a Modern Warfare 3 gun. They buffed this one a good amount. This could potentially be meta. They changed its damage significantly. From close range, they changed its damage profile from 28 to 39. That's a big bump. From medium range, 24 to 30. And from long range, 22 to 28, while also reducing its gun kick control and visual recoil. So make sure to try this gun out because it might be really good. The M13 got a huge buff as well. It increased the damage overall and the damage range. I'm curious to see if they're trying to get us to use a lot more Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 guns. The bullet velocity got increased. The headshot multiplier got a huge nerf. The upper torso multiplier got decreased as well. And the lower torso multiplier. The aim down sight movement speed got decreased. The aim down sight speed reduced from 230 to 260, but they reduced the gun kick and they reduced the visual recoil. So the M13 might be a little bit slower, but it's going to be a beam, like it's intended to be. Then the last AR that they changed was the M4 from Modern Warfare 2. That is the Jack Harbinger kit. The minimum damage got increased, and they increased its damage range. So try this one out as well. Now moving on to your submachine guns, and it's looking like it's going to be the exact same thing as AR. All attachments got a huge buff, in turn just trying to make every gun viable from what it seems like. Same thing for the Jackal PDW. Every single attachment got buffed. The Compact, same exact thing. The KSV, every attachment got buffed as well. The Ladra, same exact thing. The LC10, same exact thing. The PP919, all attachments buffed. The PPSH, all attachments buffed. The SOG, all attachments buffed. The Tanto, all attachments buffed. And that is it for the Black Ops 3 guns. From what we can see, there is no new changes to the meta for submachine guns unless these attachments do make that big of a difference, specifically when it comes to recoil control. We'll see if that changes the meta. I'll have another video coming out really soon with meta, so don't worry about that. Now for the Modern Warfare 3 gun, the AMR9, the Jack Eden double barrel kit, they decreased its damage a little bit, but they increased its range. For the Striker for Modern Warfare 3, they increased the range, but decreased the damage from medium range and from long range. For the Bass P, Modern Warfare 2, they increased their damage up close, medium range, and long range. They decreased the headshot multiplier just a tad. They made its movement a little bit worse, but they gave it better recoil control as well. For the Lockman Shroud, the Modern Warfare 2 version, they increased the maximum damage range and the medium damage range. Now for the Vaznev, I hope this one is actually good because I love the Vaznev. They increased its damage up close, medium range, and far, gave it better recoil control, but slowed down its movement just a tad. For the MP7 or the Vel 46 from Modern Warfare 2, same exact thing. They increased the damage range and increased the damage from medium, close, and far range, and they gave it better recoil control. Now moving on to shotguns. ASG got the same exact treatment as every other gun, all the attachments buffed. The Maelstrom, same exact thing. The Marine SP, same exact thing. Now some actual changes were done to the Reclaimer 18. The range from up close got extended. It got increased range and damage from medium range. And from far range, it just increased the range a little bit, but it's not going to make that big of a difference. And for the KV broadside, the Jawbreaker attachment got buffed, but also got nerfed by a little bit of movement speed. Now moving on to LMGs. I feel like we might have an LMG meta. I don't know if my gut is telling me this, but for all Black Ops 6 LMGs, flinch resistance has been improved by 15%. The Fang got the general adjustments that every other gun had, all attachments buffed. The GPMG, same exact thing, all attachments buffed. The PU-21, all attachments have been buffed. XMG, all attachments have been buffed as well. And the Bruin MK9, specifically the Jack Shadow Titan kit, their damage got increased, but a little bit of slowdown and aim down sight speed. I think that these attachment buffs might help the LMGs a lot because, as you guys know, LMGs have the most recoil, but with that increased recoil comes better damage profiles. So if they made every single gun have less recoil, that might mean the LMGs are going to be meta from here on out, which if so, I'm going to put my money on the PU-21. Now moving on to marksman rifles, same exact thing, all attachments have been buffed. The DM10, all attachments have been buffed. And if you guys don't know, this gun is absolutely broken right now. In the competitive scene, everybody is using the DM10 and it is about to be buffed even more. I'm telling you right now, I give this about a week or two before everybody is running this gun. The SX Model 7 got improved as well. The SWAT 556, all attachments improved. The TR2, all attachments improved as well. The Sarkov 762, same exact thing. And then the MCW 6.8, the full auto conversion kit, but its damage decreased up close from 44 to 41. The range from up close got extended a little bit, and it gave it a couple damage buffs as well. Now let's move on to snipers, and they did have something to say here. With this update, we're focusing on the sniper class by bringing several options and transforming the Victus XMR Modern Warfare 2 into an infinite range one-shot headshot sniper. Whoa, that's kind of crazy. These changes are designed to give each sniper a distinct role and support a variety of playstyles. We'll be keeping a close eye on performance and community feedback to maintain balance and keep the class engaging. So let's go and see what they did. The AMR Mod 4 got the same treatment, all attachments buffed. HDR, all attachments buffed. The LR 762, all attachments buffed. The LW3A1 Frostline, all attachments buffed. SVD buffed. Now the Cat AMR from Modern Warfare 3. The bullet velocity got increased from 620 to 650, and the aim down sight speed did get improved. For the Moors from Modern Warfare 3, the range did get increased significantly. For the FJX Imperium, the damage got increased from medium range and the far range got increased as well. The MCPR, the range got increased from both up close, medium range, and far range. Now for what people have been waiting for, the Victus XMR from Modern Warfare 2 has increased its damage and has also increased its range significantly. So this gun will be the new meta when it comes to snipers. This will have an infinite one-shot headshot potential. Because of that, they did decrease its bullet velocity from 800 to 610, which means it's going to be a lot harder to hit your shots, but you are rewarded if you learn and you master this gun. Now moving on to pistols. For the 9mm PM, all attachments buffed. Greg Hava, all attachments buffed. GS44, all attachments buffed. Strider 22, all attachments buffed. Now for some special adjustments, the Siren 9mm pistol, the lightweight foregrip now improves your idle sway, and the nail gun increased its ammo count from 15 to 20. And then lastly, for some small changes to the UI, the helicopter icons got changed. The enemy helicopter will now display an icon even when flying at extreme altitudes. They added an advanced splash setting, added a new accessibility option for in-game splash notifications, allowing players to customize their experience based on personal performance or need. Players can adjust the position, center or right, visibility on or off. These settings can be found under Settings, Interface, Gameplay HUD, Edit, Splash Notifications. And for bug fixes, I went over this and I read them. I'll be honest, they didn't really do anything crazy. They still have the bug that whenever you slide, after you slide, you jump. And there's still this pretty big bug where there's cheaters in the game. I don't know when that's going to be fixed. But here's the hoping that this update is good. I'll have another video coming out very, very soon going over all the meta, so don't forget to have noties on for that. So as always, we'll catch you guys in the next one. I appreciate you guys. Peace, peace, peace.